How to find ARV in under 2 minutes. That's right. In under 120 seconds, I'm going to show you how you can calculate your ARV in that quick of a time, in under 2 minutes. Guys, the average real estate wholesaling guru, they tell you to do ARV, you got to be perfect, you got to calculate it, spend an hour, 2 hours for these deals, when really in under 2 minutes, you can get the same exact accuracy with just a fraction of the time. I'm also going to show you how to calculate your offer price so you know exactly how much to offer in your next wholesaling deal so you can make a ton of money wholesaling houses. What is up, guys? Zach in here.
Rick in here.
And after doing thousands of wholesaling deals and comping thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of homes, I can tell you it's not that complicated. And so let's break down our quick, simple guide that we do so you can go out here and get your deals done as soon as possible.
So the first step in identifying a true comp is getting the right information. And this is the real critical part. So the best way to get the right information, number one, don't take everyone's word for it. Sites like Zillow, Trulio, and even the homeowner, honestly, they're just spitting out the same stuff that they think is right, and don't assume everything's right. The best way to start out is go to your property appraiser site, and then it's going to have almost all the information you really need to know. So the first thing I'm going to start out is, what is the property type? I'm looking for SFR for the most part, or maybe it's an MF for multifamily. You are in the right area code. After that, you can verify the year it was built. You can also check and see when the roof was last permitted. And most importantly, you can get the square footage. Now, there's two types of square footage. There is square footage, total square footage, which is basically under the roof. That is going to be the bigger the number. That's not the one you really want because it's going to include places like the patio and the garage, and it doesn't give you an accurate assessment. You're looking for square footage under air, also known as UA. And this is everything that's air conditioned. That's how comps are calculated. So if you mix up under air with under roof, you're going to get the wrong number, and a lot of people do it. The other thing is you can verify the amount of bedrooms and baths. Now, don't fall into the bedroom trap. I've got a 5-bedroom and a 3-bath, and it's only 1,000 square feet. That's going to be a rat maze. The reality is homeowners, especially on older homes, they add bedrooms. Sometimes they do a garage. Sometimes they split a room up. If it is not permitted on the property appraiser site, it is not recognized as a bathroom. So always look at square footage to give you an idea. Usually at least 1,200 square feet would indicate a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. If I see a 5-bedroom and a 2-bath and it's only 800 square feet, I know people are just throwing up walls. You've got to verify the correct information. Also on the property appraiser site, you'll know the year the house was built, you'll know the age, and you'll know the rough design. Remember, if a house is built in the 70s and a house is built in the 20s, they are not comparables because you're going to have higher roof lines. They're going to be much more appealing. So you always want to stick to like-minded properties. I always look for year built within 10% of the square footage under air. And once we can assess that information, once you have the accurate amount of bathrooms, bedrooms, square foot under air, and the age it's built, now you can take that data and move on to the next step of comping.
Now, this is step 2, which is compare. And what do comps stand for, right? They stand for comparables. And so what we're going to do is look for comparable properties to that said property. So if we figure out the property is a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, 1,000 square feet, built in 1982, we're just going to look for similar ones. Kind of like if we're trying to sell our own car, we're going to look at the same make and model pretty much and see what they're selling for. Pretty simple, right? Like it's really stupid simple. And we're doing the same exact thing here. We're going to look for other properties with the same 2 ones, roughly similar square footage, right? I mean, maybe 800 square feet to 1,200 square feet, nothing too crazy, and just find comparable properties. And these comparable properties are going to be properties sold within the year. Now, maybe you can go expand it, maybe 2 years or 3 years, and then do a market adjustment. But really what we want to do is find very similar properties. Now, how far do we go? If you can do the same street or same 2 or 3 streets, that's going to be always the best one. But roughly, if you look at the way property appraisers actually appraise houses, they stick to subdivision. So if you have to stick to the same subdivision, don't cross any crazy streets or anything like that. Like if there's a highway. But really, that's going to be the best indication of what locations you're going to look for these comparables or comps for. And honestly, I would just say if you're starting out and you have no money, use a free comping tool, right? Zillow is great for this. Realtor.com. I love Redfin on this. They're really good too. Now, if you're in a non-disclosure state, I'm talking about Alaska, Idaho, Kansas, someplace in Missouri, Mississippi, Louisiana, Wyoming, Utah, Texas, North Dakota, New Mexico, or Montana. In those states, you actually don't get the sold property data. It's only for MLS or realtors. You might need to use a paid service like listrei.com or zachdata.com. Heck, even dmzac.com has MLS data now where you can find that information. But even if you have no money for those, you can kind of get a rough of what they're selling for and just go from there and get a good comparable or comps range. Just look for other similar priced houses and just identify what they are and grab a list of those comparable properties.
So now that at this point, you have a list of comparables. So you want to make sure the age, the square footage, everything's similar. And once you get that data, you can basically make a list. You can compile on Excel. You can do this on a Google Sheet. And then you just add up the prices and you're going to come up with a median price. And then what you can do is divide the square footage under air, divide the sales price. And now, say if I had 10 homes or even I had 5 or 4, I can come up with an average price per square foot under air. And that gives you a true comparable. The key to this is make sure you have comparables, meaning like-minded properties, like years, like square footage. And then once you divide that sale price by the square footage under air, now you have a guide of roughly what a square foot under air in this type of neighborhood for this type of property will come out. And that will help start you doing a true comparison to make sure you got a great wholesale deal.
Okay, once we get that, we can roughly multiply that by our property, and then boom, we get a rough ARV or after repair value, what the thing is worth on its best day. Now, the reason why this can be done in under 2 minutes is because it shouldn't take you that long. You pop up Zillow, you pop up Redfin, you look at comparable properties, you get the information, then you just find this price per square foot, and then boom, do it like that. Heck, if you want to do it even faster, there's another method called the cash flow comps method, where you can go out here and actually find what the property will rent for. So look at rent comps and then multiply what you think that property will get. So if you see that are renting out for $1,200 a month, divide that by 1% or multiply it by 100. And the property is roughly worth around $120,000 for an ARV. Now for finding repair costs, this is a nice handy dandy sheet that we use. And then for the MAO percentages, this is another chart we use. As you can see here, these charts are basically based off of repairs of light, medium, and heavy. And then the MAO is just a percentage off of the ARV minus repairs. Really what we do on this channel is we just don't overcomplicate it. We don't make things crazier than they really are. We make it easy, we make it simple, and we make it something that you can do really fast. The honest truth here is your cash buyers don't care what your ARV or your MAO is. They don't care at all. They're going to come up with their own MAO value.
So the reality is your cash buyers, when you reach out to them and you pitch them your contract, they know what they're doing. They didn't get that much cash by being stupid. So you got to understand, even though most of you think you're doing a good service by providing comps, because that's what realtors do. So that's what a lot of you guys do. And then trying to figure out what to rehab and you tell them all it's 10 to 15 grand. Guess what? Your cash buyer is going to do their own comps and they're going to figure out their own repairs. And you can't convince them otherwise because that's what they do. And if you tell them otherwise, or worse off, you give them the numbers and the numbers are dead wrong, you are going to lose customers left and right. So what you need to do is get the property under contract for the lowest possible price and present the opportunity to your cash buyer. If you have a great deal, they will jump all over it. If you try to deceive them and trick them with bad comps and bad repair estimates, you're going to freak them out and they don't want to do business with you. In fact, even if you got a good deal after that, most likely you're going to lose all trust with them and you are shooting yourself in the foot. If you're not going to give accurate numbers, don't give them at all. But honestly, they're going to figure it out anyway, so let them do it. And if you have a great deal, let them discover it's a great deal on their own. You don't have to spoon feed them this stuff, and quite often they prefer to do it themselves. Guys, good deals always sell to great cash buyers. Your job is to go out and locate these properties.
And that's it. Make it quick, make it simple, make it easy. Find the value, get a rough estimate, and then make a super lowball offer. I highly recommend you just go after LAO. Go for the no, your least allowable offer. Most people go after MAO, the max allowable offer. What you need to do instead is go after LAO, the least allowable offer, the least you can offer without the seller actually getting super upset with you. What I've calculated is about LAO is about 70% of MAO. So if you have a deal locked up for 200 grand, the least you should offer on that should be around $140,000 off the bat. You want to make sure it's a no, so you get the deal locked up for the lowest price possible. So you make the most money on your next wholesaling deal. Guys, ARV is not complicated. I'm putting everyone here on a shot clock. That's right. It's like basketball. You have a 2-minute shot clock. Don't overcomplicate it. Just get a rough estimate, get a low offer, and go after it, guys. You should not even be close to MAO. You should be off of it and making a ton of money. Guys, if you want to learn more about ARV, comping, talking to sellers, everything like that, go through our free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com, where we teach you step-by-step how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. And again, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe. We'll see you soon. This is Zach signing out.
Rick signing out.
Have a blessed one.
See you guys.